Good day, everyone! It's English time. We are now in our second week and we are going to talk about the strategies for an effective conversation. At the end of the lesson, you are going to employ a variety of strategies for effective interpersonal communication. Observe and use the appropriate oral language, stance, and behavior when giving information, instructions, making explanations, and narrating events in factual and personal recount. Give clear, precise, and concise information, explanations, and instructions in varied oral communication situations, and orally narrate events in factual and personal recounts using appropriate verbal and nonverbal cues. Read the questions listed below and assess yourself. Answer each question with yes or no. When talking to someone, do you use appropriate body language to show you are listening, like eye contact, nod head, and others? Do you listen to the speaker without interrupting? Do you repeat what the speaker said or ask questions to make sure you have understood correctly? Do you avoid being distracted by noises, mobile phones, or by what other people are doing? Do you avoid being distracted by the mannerisms, speaking style, clothing of the person speaking? If you answered yes to most of the questions, you could consider yourself a good communicator. In this lesson, your ability to listen, speak, discuss, and participate in meaningful conversations will further be developed. You will also learn why an effective communication is important in our lives. As a form of communication, conversation is where you exchange thoughts, opinions, and information on things with your family, friends, neighbors, or even to an acquaintance. This can lead to good, peaceful, and harmonious relationships among individuals. Properly expressing your thoughts and opinions, whether it is verbal or nonverbal, requires the art of speaking. There are times that conversation can be challenging. If that happens, you need ways on how to keep a conversation going and solve possible communication issues. Let me introduce to you the ACTIVE or active strategy. Asking open-ended questions. Good questions are open-ended, requiring more than a simple yes or no answer. For example, what is your best travel experience? Clarifying for comprehension. This will ensure that you understand what you heard and that you get the details you need. When you said, what did you mean? Trying conversation starters. A good conversation starter can turn an ordinary conversation into something extraordinary. For example, do you know? Interrupting politely. With the proper timing, use a polite introduction to your interruption. Excuse me, can I ask something? Voicing opinions. It is important to know how to express yourself so that you will not be misunderstood. For example, in my experience, I agree. And to complete the word active, we have letter E, expressing with keepers. This may be used to continue or keep a conversation going. How about you? To communicate, we do not always have to talk. Without realizing, people send or receive nonverbal cues in every conversation. It is another form of communication where people make facial expressions, eye contact, and hand and body gestures. Being aware of these nonverbal cues is important because they will give additional information and meaning in any interaction. Here are some of the nonverbal cues which can enhance communication if used properly. Facial expression. Your brows, mouth, eyes, and facial muscles can be effective in communicating emotion and information, whether you are smiling or frowning. Remember, pouting can be interpreted as negative. Eye contact. Using eye contact shows that you are attentive and interested in what the person is saying. Remember that looking down at the ground or at your phone may convey disinterest or disrespect. Gestures. Body movements, especially hands and head, express emotions and messages. For example, nodding or giving a thumbs up means yes or approval. Another example is presented, meaning okay. Giving and taking down messages. In situations like calls or telephone conversations, these nonverbal cues will not be present. Make sure that you communicate or receive the message accurately. Follow the guidelines on giving and taking down messages. When giving a message, be brief. State all the information. Remember to thank the person you are talking to. When taking down a message, listen carefully. Write down the details accurately. Thank the person on the other line. And convey the message accurately to the person concerned orally or by writing a note. Indeed, communication is needed in forming connections and building relationships. You can interact effectively using the appropriate conversation strategies and nonverbal cues. Remember the word active. Reach out if you have comments, questions, and more. That's all for today. Goodbye, class.